Okay, so good morning, students. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible. Good
Good
morning, sir.
morning, sir.
Okay, morning, students, and happy New Year to you all.
Same to you, sir.
Okay, so before the winter vacation, we have discussed about the that is the static var compensator SVC. Okay, and then we have discussed about the TCSC. Okay, thyristor control series compensator, and different forms like TCR. Okay, and all these things we have discussed. Now, coming to another shunt compensator, that is the STATCOM. Okay, so STATCOM, which is nothing but the static synchronous compensator. Okay, so it is very similar to the SVC, static var compensator. Okay, but has some differences also. So a static synchronous generator. Okay, that means synchronous generator, we all know that it is a overexcited synchronous motor. Okay, so when it operates, runs, it produces reactive power. Okay, that is a synchronous synchronous condenser. Okay, so it is a synchronous condenser. So STATCOM is similar to that, but it is a power electronic device. Okay, it is a fact device. So that is why it is called the static synchronous generator, operated as a shunt connected static var compensator whose capacitive or inductive output current can be controlled independent of the AC supply voltage. That means fact devices, all of you, since you know that it is not a particular rotating device like a machine, so neither it is a like a capacitor bank which only generates you can say reactive power. Then we have the reactors. Okay, then we have the reactors. So the purpose of the reactor is to consume reactive power. Okay, so but fact devices are those power electronic devices which generates reactive power also, as well as consume the reactive power as per the requirement of the system. That means in a system, if the reactive power demand is more, then it will generate reactive power. That means it will allow the capacitive current to flow. Okay, and when the reactive power demand is less, that means there is means the reactive power demand is less. That means there is an excessive capacitance in the, you can say, system. So reactive power has to be consumed. Okay, because in a very light load situation, okay, or almost no load situation, the line capacitance increases. Okay, so as a result, we get to see the Ferranti effect. That is, the sending end voltage is more than the receiving end voltage. Okay, so in that case, the reactive power consumption is required. So that is, in that case, the STATCOM operates as a inductive load. Okay, so that means is capacitive output and inductive output current can be controlled without the use of the AC voltage supply voltage. Okay, that is, it is independent of the AC supply voltage. That means the voltage is increasing or decreasing, that is not affecting the amount of inductive current or capacitive current, okay, drawn by the STATCOM, drawn by or it is generated by the STATCOM. Okay, STATCOM is a static synchronous generator operated as a shunt connected static VAR compensator. Okay, oh sorry, it is a, let me repeat it, okay, same thing. Okay, so it is also called the static synchronous generator, as already told. So the STATCOM, like its conventional counterpart, that is the conventional one, because the FACT devices, the old, you can say the generation of FACT device, that is the SVC. So STATCOM is a modified form of the static VAR compensator, SVC. Okay, so it is quite similar to the SVC. Okay, so it controls the transmission voltage by reactive shunt compensation. Okay, so same thing, it is just operating the same way. So it controls this transmission voltage by reactive power compensation, because reactive power compensation, as we have already discussed since our starting of this FACT devices, like flexible AC transmission system devices, we have discussed that reactive power is very much coupled with voltage. If you can remember the reactive power, because active power is coupled with, you can say, the load angle, okay, power angle, because mode is the power angle, that is the phase difference between Vs, that is delta 1, and Vr, that is delta 2, that is the sending end voltage, receiving end voltage. Okay, so delta 1 minus delta 2 gives you the load angle or power angle. So if the power angle is more, there is more phase difference between the sending end voltage and receiving end voltage, then the power active power transmission will be more. But Q, reactive power, is coupled with voltage. Okay, so as the reactive power demand is not satisfied, then the voltage will be, you can say, the voltage will collapse. Okay, the voltage will collapse. So that is why it is very much important, because if the capacitive voltage is more, capacitive reactive power is more, then voltage will increase. That we see in the Faraday effect. Okay, but if the inductive reactive power, it is not fulfilled, okay, the demand is increasing, then the voltage will fall. That is why it is told that the main purpose of a particular FACT device is to compensate the reactive power, so that the transmission voltage can be controlled. So it is basically, it can be maintained within the steady state level. So similar to SVC, STATCOM is also controlling the transmission voltage by the reactive power compensation and reactive power or reactive shunt compensation. Why shunt? Because STATCOM is a shunt connected device. Okay, just like SVC. So here also the operation is based on voltage source converter, voltage source converter, and also upon the current source converter. Okay. The figure 1 shows a single line diagram, or you can say a one line diagram of the STATCOM based on the voltage source converter and current source converter. So this is a single line diagram of a STATCOM. So figure A, 1A is the STATCOM based on the VS, that is the voltage source converter. Okay, and this is the current source converter. Okay. Over here you can see there is a capacitor connected in shunt and there is a inductor connected in series for the current source converter. Okay, because it is a voltage source, so it is controlling this particular capacitance. Okay, so it is parallel to the voltage should be parallel to the capacitor. Okay, The basic concept, I think voltage source and current source already we discussed before the vacation in the last lectures. Okay, so you can go through those. So normally a voltage source converter is preferred for most converter based FACT controllers. So STATCAM can be designed to be an active filter to absorb system harmonics. So it is also used as a active filter as well, because the voltage source converter, since it is having a capacitor, okay, so it can be also used as a active filter to absorb the system harmonics, because all of you know that the purpose of filter, because when we have a harmonics, so harmonics, all of you know that it is a generally it exists in the odd order harmonics, okay, so third order, fifth order, okay, seventh order. So if this is the fundamental frequency, a second order harmonics, if you say, it will look like this. Okay, it is a second order harmonics, okay, and third order will look like this. Okay, so that means in one half cycle of the fundamental frequency, one complete cycle is one cycle has been completed by the second order, and 3 cycles have been completed by the first order. Okay, so that means this is a third order harmonics. So this is second order, this is third order harmonics. That means the frequencies are more. So that means the fundamental frequency is 50, okay, 50 Hertz. Then the second order harmonics, which is completing the cycle, you can say in half time, okay, that means in half cycle of a fundamental frequency 50 Hertz, the second order has completed the full cycle. That means it is having double frequency. So that is why it is called the second order harmonics. And third order has completed the 3 full cycles in a one cycle. Okay, that is why it is the third order harmonics. So since the harmonics are having higher frequencies, so if you connect a capacitor parallel, okay, so what will happen? The fundamental frequency will be passing through and not enter the capacitor, and the harmonics frequencies, higher frequencies, will be passing through the capacitor and will be grounded. Why? Because we know that capacitive reactance is Xc is 1 upon 2 pi Fc. So if more the frequency, less will be the reactance. So for fundamental frequency, the frequency is low, so reactance is high, so the current will not travel through this capacitance because it is a higher resistance or higher impedance path. It will ignore that and it will travel into this circuit. Okay, but for higher frequency, the reactance is more, reactance is less, so the current will travel through this particular capacitor. Accordingly, the capacitance should be, means varied. Okay, but the value of the capacitance should be set so that as per the requirement of the current. Okay, because we know that what current is flowing in the system, so it should be active. It should act as a proper active filter. Okay. Now a combination of STATCOM and any energy source to supply or absorb power is called the static synchronous generator. Okay, so static synchronous generator is actually, it is a combination of STATCOM and any energy source. Okay, we supply power, active power also, because if you are using a STATCOM, only a typical STATCOM, then it is actually generating or absorbing the reactive power. But if you want to generate reactive power, okay, STATCOM is generating and absorbing reactive power. But if you want to generate active power, then you have to combine some with some generator, which becomes a static synchronous generator. Okay. So energy source may be battery, flywheel, semiconductor magnet, large DC storage capacitor, another rectifier, inverter, etc. So these are the energy sources. So if you connect any battery or flywheel or semiconductor magnet, whatever, these are the different energy sources which are used in FACT devices. So these energy sources, you cannot connect an alternator with this FACT device. If you connect these energy sources along with STATCOM FACT device, then it becomes a SSG, that is the static synchronous generator. Okay, that means it will serve the purpose of a STATCOM as well as it will also generate the active power. Okay. So when it is needed, suppose in a distributed generation in a small area, you need to your connect, because we know that reactive power compensation is done locally. Okay, because the transmission line is absorbing reactive power, so we cannot transfer the reactive power from the transmission line, so it has to be installed locally. So reactive power compensation is done locally at different substations. Okay, now different substations, if you see that you have to generate reactive power, but you have to also operate those instruments also, because those instruments will, when it is operating and generating reactive power, initially when it is operating, it will consume some active power also. That means it will consume the power from the actual grid. Okay, so to avoid that, because we don't want to reduce our power transmission, so to avoid that, we will generate active power for those devices by themselves. Okay, so that is why this configuration or this combination is being introduced. Okay, now comparison between STATCOM and SVC. Okay, so in the linear operating range, the voltage current characteristics and the functional compensation capability of both these devices are very similar. That means the voltage current characteristic means how it operates with respect to the, means how the current varies with respect to voltage. Okay, that means when there is a it is operating as a reactive power generator, okay, or when it is generating reactive power, then how will the current vary along with the voltage, and when it is acting as an inductor, okay, that is the inductive power is being it is absorbing the reactive power, okay, then how the current will vary with respect to the voltage. Okay, so these VI characteristics are very similar between these two. However, the basic operating principles of STATCOM, okay, which with a converter based bar generator functions as a shunt connected synchronous voltage source, are fundamentally different from those of the SVCs, which with thyristor control reactors and thyristor switch capacitors functions as a shunt connected or control reactive admittance. So basically, STATCOM is a shunt connected synchronous voltage source. So rather it is a voltage source. Okay, it is like a generator itself. Okay, it is kind of a voltage source. But SVCs are actually thyristor connected. Okay, it is a thyristor switch capacitor or thyristor control reactive admittance. Okay, or shunt connected controlled reactive admittance. So it is kind of a both are static, but this is not a voltage source. Okay, so SVCs does not act as a voltage source, it is just a switch. So either it will switch on the capacitor, so it will act as a capacitor mode, reactive power generator mode, or else it will switch the shunt connected reactive admittance. Okay, reactive admittance means the inductor. Okay, so once it is switching on this particular reactive admittance, that is the inductor, so it will act as a reactive power consumer. Okay, so it is a switch, it is thyristor switch. But STATCOM is different. STATCOM is also shunt connected, but it is a voltage source, synchronous voltage source. That means it can act as a voltage supplier, okay, with the synchronism. That means with fundamental frequency 50 Hz. Okay, that means in the synchronism, when the system is operating at a synchronous means it is under stable operation with 50 Hz. Okay, so the frequency should be maintained. So SVC is not able to produce voltages, okay, with that frequency, but STATCOM is able to produce voltage. So it is a synchronous voltage source. So this is the major difference between the SVC and STATCOM. Okay, even though their VI characteristics are similar, but this particular capability is totally different. Okay. Okay. Now the basic operational difference, that is the voltage versus reactive admittance. Okay, means the voltage versus reactive, because voltage and current characteristics are similar, but the voltage source versus the reactive admittance. Okay, that means the reactive power admittance X, or you can say not X, it is actually Z. So admittance is Y. So V versus Y. This particular graph is quite different between the two. Okay, so this accounts for the STATCOM's overall superior functional characteristics, better performance, and greater application flexibility than those attainable with the SVC. So because of this typical relationship between the voltage source and the admittance, okay, the system admittance or the shunt admittance of the STATCOM, so it has better voltage control capability compared to the SVC. Okay, so it is much more, you can say it is much more flexible. Okay, and flexible means that when there is a sudden requirement of reactive power, okay, so the response time taken by STATCOM will be very less compared to SVC, and it can operate under many different transient conditions. Transient condition, I think all of you know. The transient condition means that when there is a situation, when there is a sudden disturbance in the line, the system should be able to retain its stability. Okay, that is the stability of a system. So under transient conditions means that sudden disturbance is there. So under those conditions, STATCOM can perform better. Its performance is quite superior compared to the SVC. So better performance and greater application flexibility than those attainable with the SVC. So the SVC cannot attain those flexible situations. It cannot be that flexible. Okay, compared to the STATCOM. These operational and performance characteristics are summarized here. Okay, so with the underlying physical behind applications benefits. Okay, so let us see the VI and VQ characteristics. Okay, so the STATCOM is essentially an alternating voltage source behind a coupling reactance. Okay, because all of you have seen it is been shown that, let's see, this is the STATCOM. Okay, so there is a for the voltage source it is having a capacitor, for the current source it is having an inductor. So these two these show that the STATCOM can be operated over its full output current range between a very low, that is almost theoretically 0 to typically 0.2. Okay, typically about 0.2 system voltage level. So it can be operated at a very low voltage, almost 0, because theoretically it is 0. That means very low voltage. So even though the system voltage is very low, and if it is 0.2 per unit, then also it can be operated. So 0.2 per unit means if the system voltage is considered to be 1 per unit, suppose 132 kV, okay, it is 1 per unit, or suppose 33 kV is 1 per unit. So 0.2 per unit, you can understand the 0.2 multiplied by 33 kV. So it can operate at that low voltage also. In other words, the maximum capacitance or inductive output current of the STATCOM can be maintained independently of the AC voltage. So already been told in the previous slide that the capacitive current and the inductive current, so its current changing capability is independent of the voltage, system voltage. So it is a voltage source, number one, and since it is a voltage source, so it will supply the voltage, okay, based on the capacitive current or inductive current. Okay, so this, if it is acting as a consumer of reactive power, then it will supply the inductive current. It is generating reactive power, it will supply the capacitive current. But these currents are independent of the system voltage. Okay, that is why it can operate at very low voltages. So if the system voltage is 33 kV, then it will operate with its rated output. If the system voltage falls down and even at 0.2 per unit, then also it will operate as this rated rated output. Okay, so it is independent of the AC system voltage, and the maximum watt generation and absorption changes linearly with the AC system voltage. So the absorption of the reactive power or the generation of the reactive power, okay, changes linearly with the system voltage. Linearly means straight line. That means as the voltage increases, the reactive power compensation increases accordingly. So current is independent of voltage. Current will be supplied, but the compensation is dependent upon the voltage. Okay, so compensation will act according to the system voltage. So in contrast to STATCOM, the SVC being composed of basically it is a thyristor switch, capacitor and reactor, so becomes a fixed capacitive admittance at full output. Okay, so in that case you can see the major difference between these two, that the system voltage as it is increasing, the compensation will increase linearly, which will change linearly. Okay, that means the maximum var generation or absorption will change linearly with respect to the system voltage. But with the SVC, since it is a thyristor switch control, okay, so it is having a fixed capacitor, okay, at the output, admittance at the full output. So the capacitance is fixed, so it will not be varied as similar to the STATCOM. Okay, so let us see this particular figure, then it will be easier for us to wait. Okay, so 2A and 2B. Okay, so these are the means VI characteristics. Okay, so you can see this is the voltage, terminal voltage, and this is the current. Okay, so this is the inductive current, this is the capacitive current. So you can say this is the capacitive current, so the voltage is low but the capacitive current is also increasing. Okay, and see at 0.2 per unit. Okay, so this is the y-axis is the terminal voltage. Okay, so 1.9 means the per unit value. So 1 means the rated terminal voltage. Suppose it is 33 kV system voltage. Okay, so it is starting from 0. So at 0 the capacitive current will be 0. Okay, so when the voltage is increasing at 0.5, so it is almost reached 50%. At 0.2 it has reached the maximum output. Okay, so even at 0.2 it has reached the maximum output. Then when the voltage, if it is increased, then also the current will be same. Okay, and when it is acting as a inductor, okay, then the inductive current will be also linear like this. Okay, so it is a transient rating considered to be, say, time less than 1 second. Okay, so in that case it is considered. But for SVC you can see the current is increasing with the voltage. So as the current is 0, the capacitive current is 0. 0.1, so very low. 0.2 also, it is like 20%. So as the voltage increases, the capacitive current increases, and the capacitive current is rated, reaching the rated value, maximum value, when the system voltage also maximum value. That is, it is very much dependent upon the system voltage. Whereas for STATCOM, for very low voltage like 0.2 system voltage, the capacitive current has been reached the maximum value, that is the rated value. Okay, so now for the second case, that is for the VQ characteristic, okay, the maximum attainable compensating current of a SVC decreases linearly. One second. Yes. So now since the current in the capacitor current is fixed at the very low voltage also for STATCOM as per this particular figure, so that means the maximum attainable compensating current of the SVC decreases linearly with the system voltage. So as the system voltage decreases, the current also decreases. Okay, but here the system voltage decreases, the current, capacitive current is fixed. Okay, and the maximum var output decreases with the square of the voltage as shown in this particular figure. So since in SVC the system voltage is decreasing, the current is also decreasing. If the current is decreasing, so we know this equation, that active power V into I, we know. Also we know that V is equals to I into Z, system impedance, into I. So it is I square Z, active power. Okay. Now for reactive power, Q is equals to, okay, Q is equals to V into I, inductive or capacitive. So it's capacitive, suppose. Okay, the reactive power. So it is also equals to I, okay, into that particular, you can say, or you can see this is the not the terminal voltage. Okay, so this one will be this is actually VR. Okay, this is actually VR, rather this is VR. Okay, and this is VC, suppose. Okay, so yes, so okay, so this is the total power. So rather I will write this one as VIR. Okay, I into R and I square R, active power. Now for reactive power, it is I into XC into I. So it is I square XC or X, whatever, I square X. Okay, if it is inductive, then it is XL. If it is capacitive, it is XC, and both then it will be XL minus XC. So you can see that if the voltage is decreasing, the current is decreasing. If the for the capacitance, okay, so if the current is decreasing, then the whatever the reactive power will decrease by square terms, because there the current is square, isn't it? The current is decreasing, the reactive power will decrease by the square terms. That is why it is told that thus the maximum attainable compensating current of the SBC decreases linearly with the AC supply voltage, and the maximum VAR output decreases with the square of the voltage. That is, this is the VAR output, reactive power output. It is decreasing by square of the voltage. Okay, as shown in this particular figure 2C and 2D. Okay, so see, it is decreasing by square of the voltage. That is why it is a curved path. So reactive, this is the graph between voltage, system voltage, and the reactive power. So reactive power is decreasing by square of the voltage, but in this case, for the STATCOM, the reactive power is decreasing linearly. Okay, why is it decreasing linearly? Because you may ask that if this, in this case, if the current is fixed, then the reactive power will also be fixed. Okay, but it will not happen, because if the capacitive current is fixed, okay, that is the capacitive current, but when the system voltage decreasing, okay, then the line current is also decreasing. Okay, line current. Okay, so that is why this is the active power. So I am not bothered about the active power, but for the reactive power, because the system voltage, if it decrease, okay, the capacitive voltage will also decrease. The capacitive voltage, because the voltage acts as a capacitor. Suppose I am taking a capacitor like this, okay, an alternator. So whatever the voltage is there, suppose V is there, same voltage will be across the capacitor. If V is decreasing, capacitor voltage is also decreasing. So reactive power generation by the capacitor will also decrease. Okay, so capacitive current will ultimately decrease. But in this case, for low voltage also the capacitive current is fixed. Why? Because of the STATCOM. It is not a single capacitor, it is a STATCOM. That is why the voltage is fixed. If you take a capacitor, because thyristor switch capacitor is there, okay, for this particular SBC, so that is why the voltage is decreasing, the current is also decreasing, because the capacitance is decreasing. But for STATCOM, the voltage is decreasing, but the current is fixed, because it is STATCOM, it is not a capacitor. But even though it has capacitor in the system, okay, so if the voltage decreases, so the capacitance also decreases. Okay, so if the capacitance decreases, the capacitor voltage decreases, so the capacitor decreases. That means the supply voltage, if it is decreasing, if the voltage is from 1.0, then 0.9, then up to 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, then supply voltage decreases. So in result, the voltage across the STATCOM decreases. So even though the current is fixed, the voltage across the STATCOM decreases. Okay, so if this is fixed, but if this is decreasing, then this will also decrease. That is why it is decreasing linearly. But for the reactive, or for the STATCOM, for the SVC, the decrease is twice. Okay, but that means square, because the current is also decreasing. For STATCOM it is fixed, but for SVC it is decreasing by square terms, by square. Okay, so it is fixed, that is why it is fixed, but the reactance will decrease. But here it is decreasing by square terms, along with the reactance is decreasing, so it is decreasing more than square terms, rather I would say. Okay, so it is decreasing more than square terms. That is why the decrease is like this. But over here the decrease is linear because of the system voltage decreasing. So reactive power is decreasing. It is not decreasing square terms because current is fixed. So the basic difference between the two. Okay. So the STATCOM is therefore superior to SVC in providing the voltage support under large system disturbances, during which the system excursions would be well obtained of the linear operating range of the compensator. So disturbance means when there is a fault in a system. So if there is fault in a system, okay, so what will happen? The system voltage will collapse, may collapse, okay, or there is a outage of the line, okay, so the voltage will fluctuate. Even though under such contingent conditions, the operation will be uninterrupted. Okay, the operation of the STATCOM will be uninterrupted because of its flexibility and higher or better performance, but STATCOM will fail to do so. Okay, so the capability of providing maximum compensating current at reduced system voltage enables the STATCOM to perform in a variety of applications the same dynamic compensation as on SVC of considerable higher rating. So that means if you are using a SVC of higher rating, the STATCOM can operate under same conditions with quite lower rating. Okay, because of this particular capability of providing maximum compensating current at low voltage. So that is what is happening. If you want to operate SVC at low voltage, so you have to take higher rating of SVC, otherwise it will not be able to perform. But if you want to use STATCOM, you can use a lower rating of STATCOM, because you will get the value of current even at low voltage. Suppose you want I current, suppose for SVC, okay, at 0.5 per unit. So if you take low rating, then the current will be 0.5 I. If you take higher rating, suppose 2I, then 0.5 of 2I means I, isn't it? Suppose you want to use, you are having a system where you know that the voltage may reduce to 0.5, okay, so V voltage, that means 1.0, 1 per unit voltage will give you per unit current, maximum current. So 0.5 voltage will give you, suppose, 0.5 current I, but you want that for 0.5 voltage the current should be I. How it is possible? You have to take a double rating of SVC so that it can produce more current. Okay, so that means under that condition the V will produce 1 point V will produce 2.0 I, क्योंकि हायर रेटिंग लिया है, हायर रेटिंग के लिए ये डबल करंट प्रोड्यूस करेगा, इसलिए 0.5 V के लिए ये 1.0 करंट ही प्रोड्यूस करेगा. ठीक है, 0.2 means double rating I am talking about. Okay, but that means it is quite expensive. But for STATCOM you don't have to go for the higher rating, because for lower rating also it can produce the constant high current, maximum current. So for 0.2 also, 0.5 also it will produce 1.0 I, for 0.2 also it will produce 1.0 I. So that is the advantage. Okay. Now moving on to a series compensator, just like TCSC, it is a static series synchronous compensator. So just like STATCOM, which was the static synchronous shunt compensator, SSC is a static series synchronous compensator. So it is a series connected, but it is a synchronous compensator. So a static synchronous generator operated without an external electric energy source as a series compensator whose output voltage is in quadrature with and controllable independently of the line current for the purpose of increasing or decreasing overall reactive voltage drop across the line and thereby controlling the transmitted electric power. So that means it is used same fundamentally as a reactive power compensating device, but it is also a energy source which can produce or which can generate the or which can supply the voltage. Okay, so as a result the overall voltage drop across the line can be compensated or controlled. So it is a same thing, it is like a STATCOM where it is series connected. So it is having an energy source. Okay, so it is connected, it is having energy source, and it is having the voltage control also, voltage control feature along with it. Okay, so it is a series connected controller. So though it is like STATCOM, but its output voltage is in series with the line. So output voltage is series with the line, that means the configuration is totally different, because for STATCOM the output voltage was parallel, that means it was supplying a separate voltage with respect to the line, but in this case it is supplying the voltage along with the line voltage in series with the line voltage. Thus it controls the voltage across the line and hence its impedance. So it is also controlling the impedance of the line also. So since it is generating voltage in series with the line, so it is indirectly controlling the impedance of the system or the impedance of the line. So this scheme is known as the static series compensator. Okay, static synchronous series compensator, SSC. So it has the capability to induce both capacitive and inductive voltage in series with the line, thereby widening the operating region of the scheme. So we can say this is a different application, okay, but same configuration almost. Okay, I would sorry, different configuration, different setup, but the same kind of application rather. Okay, so application is same, configuration is different. So configuration wise it is series connected, STATCOM was shunt connected. Okay, but here also it is doing the same thing. Here it is supplying the voltage in series with the line, and in STATCOM we have seen that it is controlling the voltage shunt parallel to the line. So since SSC is controlling the voltage series with the line, that is why it is also controlling the impedance, line impedance. And the major purpose is remaining the same. It is used as a reactive power compensator. So it can induce both capacitive voltage also and inductive voltage also, but this time in series with the system or series with the transmission line. Okay. So it can be used for power flow control, both increasing or decreasing the reactive flow on the line. So it is rather it is controlling the power flow. So it can control the active power, and reactive power control is also done because reactive power control is required over here. So it is by increasing or decreasing the reactive flow of the line. So increasing or decreasing means either it will act as a capacitor or a inductor. So vice versa. So it has both the capability similar to the STATCOM. Further, this scheme gives better stability and is more effective in damping out electromechanical oscillations. Now, electromechanical oscillations means it is observed in the alternators, because electromechanical oscillation, because when there is a hunting situation, okay, so there is a situation when the active power demand is more, okay, active power demand in megawatt, then the load angle increases. Okay, so we get to see the swing curve, okay, swing equation. So there is a swing between the of the load angle. So there is a swing. So that particular swing, there is a electromechanical oscillation. So if the oscillation remains for a long duration, then it can result in instability of a system. So the alternator can go out of synchronism. Okay. You have studied, I think, in the power systems, that stability, power system stability. Okay. So electromechanical oscillations, if I just recap it in a small way, this curve, okay. So this was the line. Now if the power is over here, so if it is increased up to here, so the load angle will increase more, and again it will come back. So there is a equilibrium criteria like this. Okay. So these oscillations must be avoided. Okay. So this oscillation is damped out with the help of this particular triple SC. Using the static series synchronous compensator, the damping of these electromechanical oscillations becomes more effective. Okay. This is the single line diagram of our triple SC. Okay. We have a voltage source, alternator. Okay. This is the bus bar. Okay. This is the triple SC. We have a converter. We have a source. Okay. Source is there. We have a converter over here. Converter, because obviously the source will be of DC output, so it have to be inverted and then connect and then be synchronized with the system, because system is operating at a fundamental frequency. It has to be synchronized because it is connected in series. So it is controlling the voltage in series, and this is the transmission line, and this is the receiving end bus bar. This is the receiving end side load. Okay, synchronous because synchronous motor. And there is a load also. Okay, a load can be inductive load. So this is the setup of a triple SC. So it consists of a solid state voltage source inverter coupled with a transformer. Okay, that is connected in series with a transmission line. So this you can see it is a solid state voltage source inverter. Solid state because it is, since it is a power electronic device, so it is a construction is a solid state type. Okay, so it is a solid state voltage source or VSC. Okay, inverter. Okay, so converter, whatever. Okay, so it is a solid state voltage source converter or inverter, which is coupled with the transformer, connected in series with the line. So coupled with transformer because you can see it is coupled with the transformer because the source which is there, okay, the source which is generating the output, okay, with respect to the capacitor, so a reactive power output or inductive power output, whatever. So it has to be converted, or there is an inverter, so it is converting it into AC. So the power is converted into AC. So as it is converted, then because it has to be synchronized, as I told you, it has to be synchronized with the fundamental frequency of the system. Then since it is connected in series with the line, so suppose series voltage is suppose 33 kV, then if the voltage produces 1 kV, suppose, then it has to be stepped up using a transformer, step up transformer, because it is connected in series with the line, so you have to step up the voltage and connect over with the system. Okay, so it is quite critical compared to the STATCOM. So this device can inject an almost sinusoidal voltage in series with the line. So that means you can visualize the thing that it is injecting a voltage in series with the line which is having already a voltage. So it has to be having the same voltage of 33 kV or whatever of rated voltage. Suppose if I explain this way, suppose the voltage is 33 kV, suppose. So it is generating some voltage over power over here. Okay. So after the converter, that is using the inverter, okay, then it has to be, it is contributing towards the current. Suppose the current is I1, and it is producing some current I2. So the total current after the triple SC will be I1 plus I2, whatever. It can be capacitive current, it can be inductive current. Okay. If the reactive power demand is more, if IL is more, okay, so that is reactive power is inductive, then it will produce capacitive current. Okay. So because this current is I2, so it is like a node, you can say. So if it is a node, then the voltage has to be same. So here also step up transformer is making sure that the voltage should be 33 kV. Okay. This inductive voltage could be considered as an inductive or capacitive reactance which is connected in series with the line. So as per the requirement, if the reactive power demand is there more or less, accordingly the inductive or capacitive reactance will be considered. So same thing. So it is kind of a reactance also. Okay. So because if you are supplying a reactive power, you are actually connecting a capacitor, isn't it? So it is like that. This feature can be provided. This feature can provide controllable voltage compensation. So in addition, SSC is able to reverse the power flow by injecting a sufficiently large series reactive compensating device. So it can reverse the power flow also, okay, because by the configuration as it is being configured, okay, so it has the capability of reversing the power. Reversing the power means it can consume the power. Okay, just a terminology. Reversing power means it is not only generating power all the time, it can also absorb the power. Okay. So how? Because by sufficiently large series reactive compensating voltage. That means since it is connected, the main advantage is that it is connected in series, so it is generating power. Okay, that means it is power flow is along this direction, arrow. Okay, in this direction. But if required, it can also absorb the power. Then the arrow will be downwards. That means the reverse power. So it will act as a absorber of reactive power. Okay. So that means it is absorbing the power. So that means the transformer is there. So it will act as a step down transformer and it will absorb the power. So it is also operating as a reverse power system. Okay. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so let me discuss this one, and then the mode of operation I will discuss in the later class. Now, operation and capabilities of the SSC. Now, this SSC, okay, works like a STATCOM. Same thing, because both are reactive power compensating device, both are voltage control. Okay, so both can control voltage. Okay, and both can supply the voltage, and it acts as both as a reactive power compensation by absorbing reactive power or generating reactive power. Okay, but the difference is that it is series connected and shunt connected. So these two differences are there. Okay, it is able to transfer both active and reactive power to the system, permitting it to compensate for the resistive and reactive voltage drops. So similarities are there, because in STATCOM we have seen it is a shunt connected, similar to the SVC, but in SVC the current was not controlled at low voltages, current was decreasing, but STATCOM it is increasing. Okay, it was constant. Okay, so in SSC also it is, since it is very similar to STATCOM. Okay, just difference is that it is connected in series, so it can transfer the both active and reactive power permanent to the compensate for the resistive voltage drops. So here also the current has a tendency to remain constant. Okay, but here the difference is, since it is series connected, so the current is not as constant as this compared to STATCOM, because in STATCOM series shunt connected, if the voltage is constant, okay, because voltage across the shunt is constant, then the current can be kept at constant. Even though the system voltage is decreasing, the thyristor control is such a way that the STATCOM current is remaining constant, but in SSC, since it is connected in series, the total operation is very much dependent upon the system voltage. Okay, so in this case, the STATCOM, which is the SSC, which is series connected, so it is able to transfer the both active and reactive power to the system, permitting it to compensate for the resistive and reactive voltage drops. That is maintaining high effective X by R, that is independent of the degree of the series compensation. That means the voltage drop, since it is connected in series, so it will contribute towards the voltage drop. Okay, if I go to the figure once again, it is connected in series, so it will contribute to the voltage drop. Now if the active power demand is more, reactive power demand is more, okay, so it is actually creating a voltage drop like a capacitor in series. So it is acting as a capacitor in series, so the line reactance will also change, isn't it? Because this is suppose XL or X, this is R, okay, XT suppose transmission line, okay. Now if the SSC is connected in series, so there is an impedance in series, okay, suppose the reactance is series, okay, with the XT, there is a reactance in series. Okay, so this is the line reactance, line resistance. So this is XT, this is RT. So as it is told that it is able to transfer both active and reactive power to the system, permitting it to compensate for the resistive and reactive drops, that is maintaining the high effective X by R ratio. Okay, high effective X by R ratio. That means if the system, if it is you can say it is absorbing the reactive power, okay, so it is capacitive, then the X by R ratio will automatically change, because obviously XT is greater than RT, okay. So when this X is connected, so this X is now, or you can say this X of SSC is totally now XS plus XT becomes X, and this is RT. So this X by R ratio is totally changed now. So depending on the X by R ratio, if it is a capacitor, then the X by R ratio will be different. If it is an inductor, then X by R ratio will be different. So totally depending upon the X by R ratio, it operates whether it will be it will transfer active power or reactive power based on the X by R ratio. However, this is costly as relatively large energy source is required. Why? Because since it is a series connected and large energy source, because there is a capacitor connected to it, so you have to step up that, okay, and the transformer there is a transformer connected to it, and the transformer is also consuming reactive power, okay. So that means some amount of reactive power has to be generated in more amount, so that the reactive power has to be fed by the transformer also, okay. So this is one reason why the large energy source is required. On the other hand, if the control is limited to reactive compensation, then smaller supply should be enough. So reactive compensation, that means when the capacitor is only active as a reactive power compensation, then the energy supply can be smaller, but when it is acting as a voltage supply or a power supply, then obviously the energy source has to be of greater magnitude. So in this case, only the voltage is controllable because the voltage vector forms a 90-degree with respect to line. So subsequently the serial injected voltage can be advanced or delay line, so meaning the SSC can be uniformly controlled in any value. So details we will be discussing later, okay. in this particular mode of operation. So in that case, we will be discussing this once again. So that will be better, because since we don't have time now for today. Okay. So did you understand the basic concept of STATCOM and SSSC? Because both are these synchronous compensator. So static synchronous compensator, and one is the static series synchronous compensator. Okay. So we can say it can pronounce the same, the static synchronous compensator, and this is static series synchronous compensator. So only series term is included. So when there is no series term, that means it is shunt. So generally it is not called as static shunt synchronous compensator. It is only called static synchronous compensator. So because it is more often, it is mainly known as STATCOM. So by STATCOM only you can understand it is shunt. So when there is no series term over here, that means it is a shunt device. It is a STATCOM. So it is called static synchronous compensator. But since it is series, for series we have to keep the same name. Okay, but we cannot write series STATCOM. So we are writing the SSSC. It is static series synchronous compensator. Okay, so any questions from your side? Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Deepak. Okay, so are you carrying on with your projects? प्रोजेक्ट का काम चल रहा है क्या? कंटिन्यू किए हो या फिर वेकेशन में?
नो सर, अभी नहीं किए हैं।
कंटिन्यू करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि
यस।
सेमेस्टर का एग्ज़ाम जो है वो तो अभी डिक्लेयर नहीं हुआ है, क्योंकि थोड़ा कुछ पार्ट तो तुमको करना है, क्योंकि आई थिंक इन 8th सेमेस्टर डू यू हैव एनी थ्योरी क्लास? 8th सेमेस्टर में कोई क्लास है क्या? सब्जेक्ट है?
नो सर, ओनली प्रोजेक्ट।
ओनली प्रोजेक्ट ना, कोई थ्योरी नहीं, क्लास नहीं है। हाँ, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि तुम पूरा प्रोजेक्ट 8th सेम में करोगे, क्योंकि कोरोना जैसे बढ़ रहा है। ओके, द न्यू म्यूटेंट ओमिक्रॉन इज, कोरोना इज इंक्रीजिंग। सो इन वेस्ट बंगाल देयर आर सो मेनी you can say restrictions. Okay, so Jharkhand also restriction will be there imposed. So we don't know the future situation. Okay, what may happen, okay, in the coming 3 to 4 months or 5 months. And it is not that you will complete the entire syllabus as a project in the 8th sem only. No, you have to complete it by 8th sem, but try to complete at least 30% by 7th sem. Okay, means what you have to do, okay, your entire planning, your starting should be done at least by 7th sem. तब प्रोजेक्ट करने के बाद जब भी कोई प्रॉब्लम आएगा, ठीक है, तभी उसको पूरा प्रोजेक्ट का कंप्लीट करना, क्योंकि लास्ट में बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट करना। ठीक है, बिकॉज वर्किंग फ्रॉम होम, एंड इफ द सिचुएशन परमिट्स देन ओनली यू कैन कम एंड वर्क टुगेदर, बिकॉज हार्डवेयर प्रोजेक्ट जो होता है ना, वो अकेला बैठ कर नहीं, पॉसिबल नहीं है। You have to come to college, okay?
Yes sir.
So that is why अभी सिचुएशन जो है अगर कंट्रोल में थोड़ा सा है तो कोशिश करो जब कि मैक्सिमम जितना हो सके इस सेमेस्टर में करने के लिए प्रोजेक्ट। ठीक है, ओके देन। हाँ, यस।
When will be sir exams? 7th sem?
7th sem exam, it is not declared, I think. Is it declared?
No sir.
I think one tentative schedule was provided by the JUT that it may happen, it may be there on the month of, I don't remember, but there was some, as far as I remember, there was some notice, but I don't remember the date. Okay, so it was tentative, so maybe I don't think too much time is left, maybe in the February itself. Okay, but I don't know, you have to go visit the website and download the notice once again, because I don't remember exactly the date. Okay, because the particular exam will be held, it will be mentioned that this week or in month of February or March it will mention. So it is mentioned. Okay, so वहाँ पर है. अभी पूरा याद नहीं है मुझे.
Yes, sir. First week of February, sir.
तो पूरा याद नहीं है मुझे.
Sir, from
कौन
first week of February to second week.
और it's given first week of February to second week.
Sir, that
Yes.
time sir gate exam ना sir.
नहीं वहाँ पर क्या लिखा है कि फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ फरवरी टू सेकंड वीक ऑफ फरवरी ऐसा.
Yes, sir. 31st January to 14th February.
Okay, so that means you have only 1 month left. Okay, I'm not sure whether the project will be also done in that way, because if the semester exam is being the schedule is declared, obviously the project exam will also be conducted within that same tenure. Okay. Yes, what we were asking? कोई पूछ रहा था कोई?
Yes sir. Final year and 7 sem different project.
क्या?
Yes. So project are different for final year and 7 sem. मतलब 8 sem and 7 sem.
No, I don't think so. Project will be same. Final year project. एक ही प्रोजेक्ट को तुमको कंप्लीट करना है. अगर ऐसा होता तो तुमको तो अभी 7 सेम तो अभी 1 महीना बाकी है, तो तुम प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट कर पाओगे? सो इट इज़ अ फाइनल ईयर प्रोजेक्ट. सो आई थिंक एक ही टॉपिक में ही होता है. ठीक है, जनरली वही होता है कि जब प्रोजेक्ट करोगे वो पूरा 4th ईयर जो फाइनल ईयर है 7 सेम और 8 सेम मिल के करना है. जनरली 7 सेम में थ्योरी पेपर रहता है, इसलिए 50-50 नहीं होता है. एटलीस्ट ट्राई टू डू 30-70 और 35-65 ऐसा. 30-40% कंप्लीट करो, फिर बाकी का जो है वो 8 सेम में तुम कंप्लीट कर पाओगे. अगर शुरू नहीं करते हो तो कंप्लीट करना मुश्किल हो जाता है एक सेमेस्टर में, क्योंकि अभी जो मैंने बोला कि यह तो नॉर्मल सिचुएशन नहीं है. तो तुम पहले जैसे होता था कि स्टूडेंट्स आते थे, टीचर से रोज बात करते थे, रोज प्रोजेक्ट का कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट करते थे. अभी कोरोना के टाइम में क्या होगा पता नहीं. So try to complete as much as possible.
Okay sir. Thank you sir.
Okay, so thank you then. You may leave.
Thank you sir.
Thank you, sir.